Mates, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be here. Yes, it is not Friday. People were in the comment section last night like, is today Tuesday? They're like, wait a minute, I thought it was Friday. So I did mention it yesterday. I'm going to mention it in the beginning of this live. Single Soul Mates for the women will be on Tuesday nights. Single Soul Mates for the men will be on Wednesday nights, because Friday nights was just really, really hard. People was trying to be outside, okay, and a lot of people were not available. I think I was like the only one that was always available on Friday nights. Why? Because y'all are my life. Y'all are my family, okay? Y'all are my dates, okay? Because anyway, welcome back to my channel. Shout out to you guys that are watching, that are joining us this very, very early. You could be anywhere in the world and you are here with us. If you have not hit that thumbs up, make sure you click that thumbs up button. If you are new here, welcome to my soulmate family. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Click that notification bell, so every time I go live or I upload a video, you will be first to know. You will be the first to know. Other than that, you guys know I like to get right into it. I'm going to go around, or we're going to go around, everyone introduce themselves, let them know where you're from, where they can find you on your socials, and then we're going to get started.
What's up, everybody? Tyrone Wilson here from Ready to Love DC. It's always a pleasure to be on the panel. This is actually my third time going live today. I did a talk during lunch on my personal channel about mental health, PTSD. Then I put my nerd hat on at about 5 and did another hacking talk for my company, Cover 6 Solutions. You can find all that stuff on YouTube. I'm just ready to get started. Let's go.
Hey everybody, Anthony, season 7, Ready to Love Miami. You can find me at IM_Anthony Martin NP. Looking forward to talking to y'all.
I guess I go next. Again, this is Yoan, just a regular guy, Ready to Love fan as well. Happy to be on here. Thanks for having me, Sabrina.
All right. You already know what it is. It's PO, a.k.a. PO. Ready to Love Potomac. That's it.
All right, guys. Y'all know I like to get right into it. So I am going to say what the topics and the questions are going to be tonight. And you guys, if you want, you can stick around to hear what the men will have to say. We should be having Jay joining us a little bit later, Jay Brad from the Last Resort season of Ready to Love. Usually he pops on when he can. So hopefully he can join us tonight. So the topics for tonight is, does lingerie matter? Would you date a woman who still lived at home with her parents? Do oysters really work? And would you marry a bisexual woman? I'm sorry. Let me get it. Okay.
All right.
Do you know the U.S. solar companies have to?
Well, so it's so funny because I was trying to think of some questions to ask, and I literally was sitting there with like soulmate fart. Like I could not think of anything, and I was like, you know what? And then all of them just started coming to me, the questions, and I just kept thinking of more questions, and I was like, oh my God, I have to add. So the next questions I'm going to have for you guys, yeah, be ready. Next Tuesday or Wednesday, you're definitely going to want to tune in because it's about to get real spicy. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Shout out to you guys in the chat. I do see you. What's up, Tim? Thank you so much. Shout out to you guys. I just want to say I love you. Without you, there is absolutely no me. But very first question, not all at once. Does lingerie matter? I mean, does it? She comes in the room and she got her thigh highs on. She got her red bottoms on. She got her garter belts on. She got her little push-up bra on. She got her little thongs on. She, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, does all that matter?
You know, to me, that feels real 1990-ish.
Oh.
And I'm like, man, what are you doing with that? You know what it is. Like, because I think you got, like, they got to be able to, you got to edit some of that stuff, right? Like, the thigh high joint and all of that stuff is good for costume or whatever. But am I supposed to take this serious or what? Is this? Yeah, it's there's. I don't think there's a whole lot of value in it. I think just natural panties and that nothing else that'll work. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. If I see you come in with some lingerie on, I'm gonna give you all the reactions that you wanted, because I know what it means to you. You know what I mean? You put in the effort to do all that. I'm gonna react accordingly. In all honesty, just throw on one of my t-shirts, you know what I mean, and some some knee-high socks. We good, because most of the time, that stuff just get in the way anyway, right?
I was thinking the same thing. I was like,
yeah,
just come in one of my big t-shirts, and I'm like, I'm good to go. Back in the days,
it's
lingerie
opposite.
was a thing. It was good for the visual. But nowadays,
Yeah.
like throw on something. You could come in one of my t-shirts wide open, like I'm focused.
I'm good.
You know what I mean?
It's actually even sexier, honestly.
It honestly is.
Facts.
Yeah, sexier.
Or
Throw on one of my t-shirts.
So
Yeah,
P.O.,
button
you had a word on your season when you were describing the kind of woman you're looking for. You used a term. You said arouse.
Oh yeah.
There we
But I
go.
also
So
said,
I want to use that word tonight because I feel like lingerie is like, it helps get there, but at the same time, in street clothes, you already got to do it for me, So for me, like lingerie is just a bonus because I already know if your body is the way that I like it, just like Ty just said, even just my hoodie on, my t-shirt on, like jeans on, but it's appreciated, but your body's just getting the job done anyway.
So would you say which would be better if they came through with just some thongs on and a trench coat and nothing else, or lingerie? What's better for the shock value?
I like the creativity. So what you just described was great, right? That's great. The raincoat on top, that's perfect. So for me, I just see lingerie as like an enhancement of like the level of like arousal I already have when I see you. So like when I see her, so like for me, it's like lingerie is good, but if we need lingerie to get there, there's a bigger problem.
Yeah,
Right.
Facts. Save it
That's
for
just
vacation
me.
or something. Like do it on vacation or something. Something extra.
But how many times can I come into the room with your t-shirt on and some knee-high socks? How many times can I do that for you? And you are like, every time.
That never runs out.
Just
so
change
it doesn't just have to be the t-shirt. It's just little creative things. Even you coming out the shower in your towel and dropping it in front of the bed would do it. You know what I mean? Just little things like that.
And that could be the signal. You throw on one of my shirts, that's the signal. Like, okay, now we know what time it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ain't nothing else need to be said.
Wow.
And
do you know
also,
how many... Go ahead.
Let's be honest. Lingerie has some form of like class to it. Mm-hmm. So it's not just like something you just throw on. It's one of those things when, you're taking your girl out for a steak dinner, you bought her a nice dress, you don't know what she got under that. And by the time you guys get home, she's like, I really love the dress that you got me, but let me show you what I got underneath this dress. And boom, she show you what she got from Victoria's Secret or whatever brand you guys enjoy those days. Yeah. So for me, it's like, it's great to have it. It's great to be there, but like, it's very like part of the whole process after all.
See, I'm on the other side of that because I look at it, I'd rather it be trashy than classy if it's my lady. You know what I mean? Like, the grimier, the gutter, the dirtier, the better. I'm coming in with on some hood stuff.
Well, I mean, it ain't always like that. We know y'all like to dress up and stuff, but in all honesty, some of that lingerie can be a little complicated, even for you to get in. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need 10, 15 minutes to put the lingerie on. And then because of the way it may be designed, it may be difficult to get to the foreplay. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how it's designed.
I think
But
that
I ain't saying I ain't trashy and gutter like Paul just said. I get it. I'm going to appreciate it, but you don't need it.
I think though that I think lingerie in itself sets a certain tone and a precedence of, oh, I have to, take this slow and do all like you don't really want to do that. You don't really feel like doing that, but you're gonna do it just to appease. But you don't feel like doing that. And I think I speak for the whole panel.
That's why I say this is vacation. We need to let loose, need to relax a little. We have time to get to all that. But not when we at home. We got to go to bed. We got to get up in the morning. Let's get to it.
Do y'all know it's so many women? I mean, it's good that we're discussing this because it's so many women out here that spend a lot of money on lingerie.
Yeah.
Save it.
It's like y'all pretty much are saying like the lingerie ain't for us. It's really for y'all. Like that's what you're saying right now. Like obviously she wanted to get dressed up tonight and she wanted to give her like, have y'all like ever voiced this to the women or the women that you've dated, or like do they know, or it was just conversations that never came up? Or
in my experience, I've had to be careful on how I expressed that, because you could take it the wrong way. But essentially, you just say like, yo, I like you, I want you, lingerie or no lingerie, I appreciate it. And then another thing is sometimes the worst question to get is what color lingerie should I wear? I almost hate that question. Red or black? I'd be like, you don't need none of it, really. Go with the red. Fine.
I feel like I've never really had to have that conversation. Anytime I've had lingerie put on for me, it was for a special occasion. But I've always let a woman know, even if you coming to me with sweatpants on, I still find you attractive, and I'm still gonna handle you the same way.
I think it's different too, because I know the woman that I am and some of the things that I've worn and done was very much appreciated. So I think too, and this is like for the ladies out here, that's, well, you know what? We kind of already talked about it, but I don't think I really spoke on it. But because of what y'all are saying and me knowing that, because I kind of knew that, I didn't really know it, but now I really do. But I know I've been in situations where, like, for example, I did the whole raincoat thing, like showed up with my raincoat, knocked on the door. And when I came inside, it was like, choom, and they weren't expecting that. So, and it was another situation where I was with my fiance at the time. And for Valentine's Day, I did put on like, a cute little outfit. And they were like, this is so complicated to take off. And I was like, I wore it because it was meant for you to rip off. You know what I mean? So I guess, it like, who was it? Johan that said like being like, have some thought behind it or being creative. So yeah. So I guess when y'all are like throwing y'all lingerie on, women, be creative behind it. You know what I mean? So I guess that's what y'all are saying, not just coming out with some red bottoms, standing on the door like this, thinking like it's doing it for y'all when it's really not doing it for you.
And don't be stumbling and bumbling, trying to bring in a chair and you flipping over the chair and stuff. I'll just be like, come here, girl, just give me a hug. Just
and I think also in general,
you're messing up the vibe right now.
Sabrina, in general, like women enjoy more foreplay than men do. So generally, when we do for the foreplay, is because we know it's almost like a way to warm you up to get you ready. It's more for y'all than for us at some point. Like I said, in general. So for men that essentially enjoy the lingerie and all this stuff, is because sometimes when you know you're getting to destination, the journey is pretty easy to get through. So, you know, if you got to spend 10, 15 minutes on foreplay, enjoying the lingerie she put together, you know, at the end of the night, you're getting what you want. So you're doing that to make her happy. And then, you know, you make yourself happy as well. Because us men, honestly, it doesn't take much for us to get busy. As much as we want to dress it, put it, you know, it doesn't take us much, you know. That's just honest opinion right there.
Yeah.
So let me just say this. Let me sum this up. I'm gonna help because I like to just be real. I'm gonna help every woman out there that's watching this. Very simple. If you want to pull off some lingerie type of ish, right? Just show up in the room looking like you about to go on OnlyFans. And if you do that, it's a wrap. Period.
But that could be the lingerie, the thigh highs, I mean. And
they not doing, no, nah.
What you mean on OnlyFans? What you talking about, like a stripper outfit?
He talking about the raunchy stuff. That's what he's talking about.
What do the OnlyFans girls look like, Paul? I don't know.
Exactly, Paul. What do
they look like? They look just like the Instagram ones, with the socks that go up to their knees and all that stuff. That's it.
Holes everywhere, huh, Paul?
That's it.
So that's how the OnlyFans girls show up, just with socks on. That's it.
Pretty much.
Wow.
I don't know. I ain't never been on there. That's
Me
good to know,
neither.
though, Paul.
Me either.
You don't have,
I don't know the OnlyFans
know
uniform.
Come on, man. You don't have to go on there to know what goes on there.
Yeah. Well, I think when you said OnlyFans uniform, that's where it threw us off. But I feel like we all know what you're talking about as far as the view. So yeah, I think, you know, women all, like, I just read a comment that said, like, I don't care what you're saying, I'm still gonna put it on. That's fine, put it on. But if I don't appreciate it as much as you're expecting me to, please don't be mad at me. Because I already told you, I don't need all that to get started. You just have to walk in the room. But if you go ahead and go out your way to put on something nice on top of that, that's fine, but I'm still going to get there.
Right.
And don't get mad if I'm passing right through the bra that you spent $500 on.
Exactly.
I hope a lot of women watch this video and they see, because in real life, y'all don't understand, like, we pride ourselves, like, we go all out, especially like when we're trying to put together a romantic evening for our man. We're like, we're gonna cook, we're gonna do that. So I know usually if I do wear something like that, I'm trying to get in the middle of the screen. If I do put on something like that, the heels, the fishnets, cute little outfit, the only times I've ever dressed like that classy, sexy, is actually when I'm getting ready to cook. So I usually cook, and so I'm giving y'all dropping some gems, y'all ladies. I usually cook in that kind of stuff. So that classy, sexy, kind of cute little skirt, thong, thigh highs, heels, bra. Yeah. So I want you to watch me cook in that. But I'm definitely not going to show up in the bedroom like that. Because to me, that's boring. So
Yeah.
For the guys,
I'm going to save some relationships out here. But go ahead, Ty. I'm sorry.
For the guys that's listening, y'all got to be mindful that for the most part, that's not something that you can just pick off the shelf, just walk in the store, and get a small and come home and be done with it. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of effort to find something that, one, fits, two, that they feel good in, and they have the right color and everything that's, that you can get in and out of. So if they do it, don't just disregard it. You know what I mean? Because you're probably unaware of the amount of trouble that they had to experience to make that happen. And for the most part, it's for you. They want you to validate their beauty and their sexiness. So
I'm sorry, Tyrone. I'm not frying chicken. I'm not gonna be frying fish. What? I'm in that joint making potato salad.
When you come into bed smelling like kimchi.
It's right here.
You got the bulgogi breath coming.
Tyrone, you know you like bulgogi, Tyrone. You eat kimchi.
But mixed with lingerie.
It's smelling like kimchi. For y'all that don't know what kimchi smells like, it stinks like shit. Smells like straight, like it stinks. It's definitely an acquired taste. So you definitely don't want to be coming into the bedroom smelling like that unless both y'all done ate a little bit of kimchi. Okay. I can't. Oh my God. Okay. I mean, that's good to know though. I'm glad that, we have conversations like this because I know some women may know, but some women did not know, and now they do know. And if you do, ladies, if you do dress up, make sure you put on a t-shirt. Do the t-shirt gotta be clean or gotta be a little dirty? Like it's a used t-shirt, like y'all done already wore the t-shirt, or we had to get it out. Look at Anthony's face.
Nah, you want that? You want some with that gain on it.
Dirty.
Yeah. Fresh out the dryer t-shirt.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like some people like that. Oh my God, it smells like him.
One more thing. If it is the rip-away one, just kind of let them know that early. Like, hey, this one of them rip-aways.
Boom.
Yeah.
I've never seen those one before, but I didn't know they had those, man. That's cool.
It's that one that Hulk Hogan be having on in the ring before he jump in.
Oh man, Peter, you funny, man. Oh,
it already got a rip. It already got a rip in it right here, so you know where to start.
Right.
Well, you know where to start the rip.
You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Oh.
Well, that was interesting. Okay. Well, good to know. All right. So moving forward, the next question and topic is, oh God, I can't wait to get to the last one, the last two. Woo! Would you date a woman who still lived at home with her parents? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's 44, she chilling, she like, oh, I ain't paying no bills. Like, like my parents is good. No, I'm not home taking care of my parents. I'm not taking care of them. They're both in great health. I ain't got to pay no rent. Like I'm chilling right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, what's good? Like, can we go out? Can we look? What, you got a girlfriend? So.
You see, that's what right there. That's where the relationship potential starts, right? You know exactly what you're getting. You tell me you living at home and, moms and dad is cool. You just want to keep the whole bag to yourself. What do you want from me? Like, and what do I want from you more importantly? Nah, I'm good off of that.
I mean, for me, there's a bunch of variables that, that are a part of that. Because I understand, I would ask why, is she choosing to live with her parents or does she have to live with her parents? Because, the answers to that would be telling. Obviously you would want someone to be able to take care of themselves. So, my goal is to be able to take care of both of us. So if that's something that you're just deciding to do on your own, just depending on the situation, I would be cool with it. But, if you have to live with your parents, then that would definitely raise some red flags.
I personally think it's situational, especially coming from a Caribbean background. I've seen a lot of Caribbean parents keep their girls in the house until they actually find a man to get married. So sometimes it's not really their decision unless they kind of want to be defiant and go out there on their own. So I feel like it's all situational. It just all depends on what she's doing while she's there and where she's at in life.
So yeah, that's where Anthony and I are on the same wavelength, because although he's from Haiti, I'm from Africa. A girl who's in her 30s who's still at home with her parent, that's actually the girl that you want, because basically it depends on the situation, it depends on the season of the life that you're in as a man, right? But from a standpoint of a man who's looking to be married, start a family, that girl essentially also like is the one that you want. But essentially, I also got to specify it depends on the kind of family, right, Anthony? Because if her family is unstable, that's not an area where you want to keep her at. But if her family is stable, thriving, because we have that sense of community, I already know that every day she's basically being taught by her mom, women in her family, how to become a woman, how to become a wife, regardless of her age, right? And but for us, that's better because when we are spending time with our elders, they're also teaching us how to be men. So that's from my cultural standpoint, that's a good sign. Now, if we're talking here in America, we'll definitely have to see the season and the situation, because if we're talking about you then near 50 and you're still living at your parents and you don't have a career, that's another issue now.
So let me add a follow-up question for Tyrone, and then also just to double up on what Anthony said, or just to piggyback off of that. My thing is this here, and you too, Johan. First off, if she's 44 at home, right, regardless of culture or whatever, to me that's telling, because nobody picked that fruit from the tree yet. Come on, man. Come on. So
when you put that age on, that's a different spectrum now. Because you know, once you put that 44 on, that's true.
Right. So that's issue number one. But then the other thing, so Ty said, take care of, or ultimately he would be, willing to get in position to take care of himself and his lady, which I respect, So let me ask you this. Just let me throw this out here to the group. How do you guys feel about 50-50? Going like 50-50 in relationships.
We just jumping topics now.
I was about to say this next week. No, I'm just
go ahead. No. But that's just going, because Tyrone said that, and it made me just say, you know what?
Yeah. Personally, I am taking care of my household. If you're in my household, you are being taken care of. If you want to have a job, you want to have a career, I will support that. You don't need that. I would want you to have some drive to do something, but it's not a necessity for me. You know what I mean? If you're helping with other things like the kids, the house, and you're assisting with our progress, then I'm good with that.
So if she makes more than you significantly, would you still be okay with being the sole provider of the home?
Yeah.
And she lived at home with her parents?
It's all of ours. Her money is also all of ours. So if she's making more than me, then one, we're doing well, but I'm not, I wouldn't be with her if I'm thinking that she's just stacking just to walk away 3 or 4 years from now. So I wouldn't have that in the back of my mind.
So,
but I could kind of see what you're getting at, huh?
So would you do a prenup or no prenup?
Plead the fifth.
Oh, now we holding up.
Are we sticking to the question of that woman is currently living with her parents and you guys are about to live together? Are we doing 50-50? Pio, is that your question? I just want to put it into context.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I would say for me, if this whole time you were living with your family and you come out of there and I still have to like put some extra effort to take care of you, then I really have to like ask myself, like, what were you doing this whole time, right? But at the same time, I'm working to be in a position where, like Tyrone, I can take care of my family and do all those things. But if you sacrifice owning a home, right, this whole time and being at your parents' house, for me, a real estate guy, I'm going to ask myself, what were you doing? If you didn't stack your paper, you were just working, living paycheck to paycheck while you were living at your parents', you didn't really progress in life. So I think it's just a little bit more about how you're coming on the other side. Because for me, I'm a guy where if I can take care of us, we good. And whatever I don't have, I hope you can take care of that for us. Because I'm always thinking in the relationship, when we go into it as men, we think that going alone will get you there faster. But going together, you're going to get there further. So it's just a team effort. So you definitely got to come out your parents' house with something.
Very true.
Now, what if she's living with the parents, and when she comes live with you, the parents got to come? Still paying all the bills?
Are you asking me the question, Jay? Or
Max? Yeah. You got the mic.
All right. Well, you said if she comes out of living with her parents and parents are coming with her?
Yeah.
Heck no. That's not how it works. I mean, quite frankly, it depends also on the position where you are in life, right?
Yeah.
If you can't afford to have her parents stay for 3 months in a guest suite, and this woman is about to be the woman that you're going to marry and everything else, also get a prenup, know what you're doing, and move out of love. But, if we want to just talk from 2023 dating, heck no. So
ain't nothing that good. So if we're talking about finances, then I guess, if we got a guest house, parents can come through. But if not, they on their own.
Right.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
I say prenup, though. I think every relationship should begin and end with a prenup, period. Right. And I actually feel like, they should insert a law where marriages last as long as driver's license and you have to renew them. And then
I've said that, P.O. I've said that. Like, everybody gets the option to mutually agree to move forward every 3 or 4 years. Do you want to rock this another 3 or 4 years? And then that way, it's not that marriage needs to be or love needs to be performance based. But if you got a contract renewal coming up in 3 or 4 years, you might cook a little different. You might put your best in. If any of y'all play sports and you know that there's somebody on the second team ready to jump in your spot the minute that you consistently not showing up for practice or giving your best in the game, you play different.
Yep, that's true.
So if we're going based on that concept, do you get to argue your case about not losing your marriage license?
Big facts. Yeah, there should be
doubt.
a renewal meeting in front of a council, and everybody gets to present facts if anything is contested. If both sides don't agree, then there's a council agreement that comes in place, and you get to go before the judge or the council.
Yeah, man, you're gonna have those council every Friday.
Hey. What's his name? Hey, Jay for president 2024.
There it is.
President 2024.
There it is.
Oh man! Now I get married. I know that ain't gonna be a part of it. So I'm just, in case my future wife see this, I understand it's not gonna happen. But in all reality,
there's a lot of money associated with that, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, we could all get together and slow pitch this idea to our current president. You know what I mean?
The single ones will agree with it. The married ones will lose their vote immediately. So I think to hedge our bets, we need to see how many of our Congress people are married up front. And if their vote is on a record, then I don't think it's going to go far.
But also think about the revenue that marriage renewals will bring into the to the country. So to the local state governments.
Yeah.
So another question on your concept. So if you're already married and you've been married for 10 years, do you get to go back to the courthouse and say, we want licenses for another 5?
You can upgrade it. You can upgrade, get out of that, get our state grandfather.
But in order to get into the grandfather clause, you got to actually have mutual agreement. You know what I mean? You can't, she's got to know up front. It's not fair to her to all of a sudden enforce policies after the fact. You know what I mean? It's important that she knows everything up front. I'm glad I'm not looking at the chat because I know I'm getting ate up by her right now.
She's trying to slip in an amendment, before Christmas.
Right.
You know what though? That would be the best part to do it. make sure you get your license right before the holidays, so it expires right before the holidays. Then you get leverage. Yeah, you get leverage.
Oh, somebody said I was in these streets. Who was I with?
What in the world? So another round says, I wonder if the men would date a woman taller than them.
Yeah.
Yo, but Pio's like 7 foot feet.
Yeah.
Pio's tall,
No.
so she would have to be a freaking Amazon.
Facts.
Yeah, I'm above average height, so I can't date anybody who's 6'4". Sorry. I can't date anybody who's 6'4".
I'm 6'1", so I've never come across that problem. So
yeah. Tyrone, would you date a woman
No,
taller?
yeah, not an issue. I'm 5'11.99999. So I ain't gonna lie and say 6 feet, but I don't have an issue at all.
Yeah.
I definitely would. I have before. I've been in high school. I dated a girl that was 6'1". Oh, yeah, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
With flats. You know, we wasn't wearing heels back then. Yeah.
Wow.
So wait, Anthony, you 6'4"?
I'm 6'1".
Oh, 6'1". Okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm. He Anthony had to come through about a month ago and had to clear that up.
Yeah.
In one of the comments, they was like, "Cause Anthony's short anyway." He was like, They were like, "Oh, wow, we're sorry." Look, their whole tone changed when they found out Anthony was.
Hey, look, camera ain't do no justice. You know, it is what it is.
It was the funniest thing ever. But anyway, yeah. So I know for me, I love my man to be like taller than me. So I've dated short men, I've dated all sizes, but I enjoy men that are taller than me because I'm 5'10". So yeah. Anyway, enough about me. Well, all right, moving forward. Oh, sugar, I just minimized the damn. Okay. All right. Do oysters really work? Because what I had heard that it was an aphrodisiac. And I heard that when men eat oysters, right? I heard that when men eat oysters, y'all can go for a real long time. And then it'd be like this. Is that true? is that true?
Well, I'm going to bow out of this question because I hate any type of clam, oyster, scallop, any of that stuff. I can't.
Why? Because it be like this?
No, I just hate the texture of that.
Okay.
I've had oysters before. I don't think I ever paid attention to a difference in that. Maybe, you know, I don't know if I left the oyster bar and went straight to the house. But I don't know. I don't know if it's like a pre-workout. You know what I mean? You got to hit that junk within 30 minutes. I don't know how that works. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm clueless. I don't know. But what I do know, all you got to do is just slide them a pour or two of Hennessy. Same thing.
That's true.
The black man's oyster. Hennessy.
What were you getting ready to say?
On that commercial.
I said I actually just started eating oysters and started making oysters, but I've never done the do after yet. So we'll double back on this question maybe another time. I'll let you know. I have no clue.
Really? Because I've actually heard men say like, yes, like it works. I even had a conversation with a guy and he was like, it works. I'm like, really? And that's crazy because I mean, it's pretty much 4 of y'all up here right now saying like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder, like, do some guys just say that just to get like a reaction? Or maybe different.
Maybe he was looking for something that would work for him. And the oysters work. And that's his go-to because maybe he needed. But I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it because I used to think the same thing about conch. But like conch, I don't know if y'all eat conch, but boy.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
Conch make you do that?
Oh yeah.
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 Really?
Forgot about
I cook conch. I love it.
This is true.
You cook it?
I do. I cook it. I love it. I
Cook
eat
it
it
for
with
a man.
I just eat it
with
raw.
gochujang.
Yeah,
I eat it
cook it
raw.
for a man.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you.
Why?
Stretch first.
Well, maybe I won't feel bad for you. Maybe you might like it, but go ahead, go for it.
I don't get any reactions from it.
No, for him. Cook it for him.
Jason says stretch and make sure you're hydrated.
Right. Stretch first. Get some conch and Gatorade at the same time.
So Jay, so you've experienced that with conch?
I haven't. I don't think I've had conch. Yeah. But the name is, is it CONK?
CH.
Okay.
It's that horn, that SpongeBob or whatever. Is it SpongeBob? That thing that he be blowing on? That's a conch shell.
Oh.
If you watch Lord of the Flies, it's in the movie Lord of the Flies.
I gotta say though, we do have a lot of fruits and vegetables that are like building up your testosterone. So I don't know if they ever assimilated that oyster was doing the same thing. I've had oyster before, it never felt any different. So I feel like there's other things that you can eat that can get you there.
So what else besides conch? Like we need to know.
So for me, coming from a tropical country, we got a few herbs and fruits off the trees there. You don't find them here in the U.S., but we also have a form of guava that's like that stays green and is pink on the inside. That one is also really good. So there's just a few things that we eat back home that's like that gets you going until you're in your 70s. So, but you don't find it here.
So that Tonka stuff too.
Some ginger tea, but the ginger with the ginger root, like the real ginger.
That's how I make my tea.
Yeah.
No, for real.
Based on your diet, you stay over there ready, Sabrina.
Yo, it's ready.
You just get a knock on the door. You ready to go in the game at any time. Just put me in, coach. I'm ready.
Sabrina got it. I make that.
Right.
Look, while somebody in the comments, y'all know a lot of times I don't put stuff up. Why Kermit in the comments said, girl, you is a whole wife.
That's what I was thinking.
No, but because y'all have to understand, y'all know with my Korean background, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like I was raised from a little girl to take, I was raised to be a wife and to take care of my man. You know what I mean? To be in the kitchen and to have a garden and to provide for the family and to make sure the family good and make sure the bills is paid. And you know what I mean? Like my mom taught me how to write a check at the age of 8. You know what I'm saying? So she did well.
25 right now, real talk. I don't know if this is your daughter or you talking, but I'm gonna just assume it's you. You look a whole 25. Real talk. That's that fresh face too.
Yes, no cap. I literally don't have any makeup.
I know. That'd be when you at your best. I'm like, man, what you put makeup on for? to not get ID? Like that's what you doing?
I know, and y'all know I think I'm the oldest one. No, I think PO got me by a year. I think PO has me by a year. PO's like, yeah, we're not talking about age right now. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Yeah, so that's interesting. Okay. So conch, ginger. I'm just saying, we need to know this. So the next time we cook for our men, we know what to cook.
Oh, y'all trying to set it up.
No,
what if he didn't stop at the gas station on the way or pop the blue pill over there? You're gonna have him up for 4 days. You're gonna be in the ER trying to get some blood taken out.
They're gonna be like, girl, I put too much ginger in his tea this time.
Right.
That's different.
We ain't making the church the next week. We're still in the bedroom.
But it's natural. I don't want you to have to go pop a blue pill when I got the Sabrina pills over here. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to take that.
Real talk. That fresh face is all it takes. You know what I mean? you know, you're the homie, so don't people think in the chat I'm trying to shoot a shot. I just look.
No, everybody know like y'all my brothers. So, oh my gosh. Okay, lovely. Okay, anyway, enough about me. Okay, all right. So y'all hear it. Oysters for the most part. I mean, these not all the men in the world. It is what 7.9 billion people in the world, and I'm sure half of them, or probably a little bit more than them, is men, and maybe some of them someday work for the oysters, and some, yeah. So I just say definitely, if you are trying to spice up your relationship in the bedroom, definitely Google stuff like natural fruits and vegetables and herbs and stuff, and start putting that in y'all's diet, and damn, you might get that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, moving forward. So would y'all marry a bisexual woman? You know what I'm saying? Because she might be like I like you, but I like her, and I like her. Like, I want to be your wife though. Like, let's get it straight. I want to be your wife. But
now you pose the question.
Yes, but I'm trying to get y'all to understand like the whole concept of it. What you was saying.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna get married. I want to marry you. You want to marry me. We want to marry each other. But like, I like to dip and dab in. Damn, I was about to say the litter box, not the litter box. Like, I like to dip and dab. With her and
tacos and sausage.
Yes. I mean, So, would y'all marry a bisexual woman?
I don't think there's nothing. Yeah, I wouldn't be bothered by that. It wouldn't bother me at all, actually.
I think it helps. Like, so I've dated somebody that has been bisexual. It didn't bother me at all. But she said that other men had a problem with it because they were always insecure. Because when she's going out for girls' night, you don't know, you don't know what that exactly means, right? So it just comes down to the trust factor. But I think there's a couple things in relationships like that. But here's where it actually helped. So as guys, we see, right? So if a beautiful woman is standing 30 yards away, we gonna see, right? And so she would point them out to me. She'd be like, yo, shorty, nice. I'm like, oh yeah. So I enjoyed that I didn't have to hide the fact that I was, just respectfully, right? Respectfully looking just to, identify, oh, wow, that's beauty. But she'll point them out like I'm with one of my homeboys. So there's definitely a benefit to that. So if you get a lifetime of that, you never get, in trouble. I think I saw a thing online today. It was a dude, I guess, had looked at some woman on the plane, and this girl went off on him. Like, they had to kick her off the plane. She was going hard. Wouldn't have happened if she was bisexual.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably my preference.
I don't know whose mic that is.
What in the world? Say that again.
It's probably my preference. I wouldn't mind at all.
Wow. Okay.
I go ahead and I say no.
Why so?
I just think that if in your intimacy and your sexual lifestyle, one person cannot be enough for you, why marry you and do life with you? So that means that other things in your life, one person would never be enough. Because I think that sex, finances, and everything that goes on to a marriage, right? Not just dating. A marriage is like the idea of becoming one, two people becoming one. Mm-hmm. So if we can become one in everything that we do, but when it's time to take our clothes off, you still need somebody else to see tomorrow or another day. That's another thing that you really have to ask yourself: is marriage is really for you? Because at the end of the day, marriages are not working today because we're trying to change the way marriage was supposed to be like. So people generally that end up like in those situations end up in trouble because they're picking a relationship like marriage that is meant for two people, added on to the other ones. And, I had my fair share of like polygamy in the way I was raised and all this stuff. So when I said that marriage was meant for two people, that's why, you know, I leaned out on that part, you know. But if it's dating, do you, boo-boo. But I won't see you at the altar, though.
So, but here's the thing, though. The question was, you know, would you date a woman who was bisexual? That doesn't mean that they're currently doing that.
Not date.
Marry, date.
Marry
okay.
a bisexual.
Marry. So, okay. So here's the thing. If a woman decides that she no longer wants to live that particular lifestyle and wants to be with a man now, right? Then you can't unbisexualize yourself.
That's not true.
You know? No. What I'm saying is you don't have to do that anymore. But if you've been with a woman, if you've been with a woman and a man before, you're always going to be considered bisexual.
That's not true.
You may no longer.
I disagree, bro.
You may no longer be in that life, right? It's just like this here. You can't drink alcohol and say I never drank before. If you drank it, you drank it, even if you don't ever do it again.
But you could be considered an alcoholic and then 10 years later not be an alcoholic anymore. But you can't say like you used to be an alcoholic 15, 20 years ago. And even though you're not drinking now, so you're still considered an alcoholic?
You're recovering. So this would be a recovering bisexual, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty
much. Yeah.
But you can't just like
man.
You can't
Where did you get that from?
That's not true.
Yeah, how can you? Okay, so then how can you no longer be considered that? Like if you bi means
because it could have been a stage in her life where that's what she did. She had fun, and guess what? It's been 15 years since she's dealt with another woman. She has no desires to be with another woman sexually. It was something she did. She had fun. But it doesn't mean 15, 20 years later now that she's still bisexual. It just means she's not
being with other women. So what do you say that then it was like because there's no way I can't work it out in my head to say like if you've done something once, you can't erase what happened in the past. You can only change what happens in the future. So if you had that lifestyle back then, and now you convert and you say, okay, I'm done with that lifestyle. You still at one point in your life participating into that lifestyle. So therefore you've been with both sexes. That's the terminology bisexual comes from. Doesn't mean that you're currently acting on that, but that just means that you've been with both sexual partners at some point in your life.
But it doesn't mean that you're still considered as being bisexual. So
no, I'm not saying that you're considered as that, but for me, when someone says bisexual, it doesn't whether or not they're doing it today.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you've done it at all, you can't just you can't erase that. So it happened. Can't erase it.
You can't unlick that. I see what you're saying.
The views and opinions expressed by Paul are those of Paul.
Like I understand what you're saying. Like you can't erase the past. But what I'm saying is but who you were then is not who you possibly could be now.
No, I'm not saying that.
If I dipped and dabbed and I was intimate with a girl and when I was in high school and I was 17 years old, it doesn't erase that, but me as, let's say, 45-year-old Sabrina now, like I wouldn't consider myself as being bisexual. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Okay. So then
I didn't have that experience, but
okay, let's just flip the table. And if a man did that,
once a dude does,
if a dude does,
ain't no bi. You just
okay.
Like I get it,
but
I get what you're trying to say, Paul.
And even if he says, "I no longer do that anymore,"
right?
I don't like
people are
men.
going to look at him.
But I know somebody like that. They did. They lost their virginity to a man when they were 11 years old. But he's never been with a man since. And he was like,
sexual abuse does not make somebody gay. That makes them.
I'm gonna have to disagree.
Right.
I could have tried it.
I think there's a difference between your sexual encounters and experiences that you had between your life and what you're actively choosing to do as you're moving on with your life. Mm-hmm. And I think that what Pio is saying is that once you've done it, that's what you prefer sexually. And what Sabrina is saying is, although what you've done it in the past, you can choose to live your life without doing it anymore. And I think going back to the question, it's more, can you marry somebody who is bisexual? Right. So we definitely have to define, what are we talking about? Are we talking about somebody who's actively bisexual? Exactly. Or did people, like, for example, Jay's ex, right? She sounds like a dope woman I would love to date too, right?
we just passing around the panel. Hey,
wait a minute.
Let me put a number in the chat. I got you.
Right, but here's the thing, right? If
you don't have to pay extra for the clip notes, though. You know.
Right. But what I'm saying is, if she's coming to marry a guy like me, then essentially I would understand that, okay, she dated people once upon a time in a setting with Jay and all those things. So I have to be able to like understand, is that something she's still wanting to do? Is that something that's in her? Or is that something it was just a season of her life? You know?
Right. Well, I mean, would you marry a woman? I'm sorry to cut you off, Johan, but just
go ahead.
Like, would you marry a woman that is actively and wants to continue to actively be involved with other women while y'all are married?
Well, see, now that's the thing. If she has, you can't have the liquor license while we're married. You have to turn that in.
I was like, what does this have to do with alcohol? Then I was like, got it. I'm back. Fair enough. Got it.
Yeah, you can. I mean, yeah. If it's deactivated, that's one thing.
It's a hard no for me, man. I'm good. I'm raising a little girl. I'm trying to have a certain kind of lifestyle, you know, and I can't introduce that and this and, you know, try to direct my family the way it needs to be directed. So it's a hard no for me.
Right.
So I'll come as you, like, whatever works. I feel like as long as my answer is going to be based on our communication. So if there's trust and communication, I don't have a problem. You know, I really don't. Like, if somebody could, it's just like with, do I trust somebody? To me, it's the same as, you know, if she was previously, you know, a shopaholic, but she communicates well, and we, you know, do I trust her with my credit card? The answer is yes. You know, I feel like that trust is the same as the other, and I don't need to be marrying her if I have the concerns of, can I trust her or not? Currently, whether she currently has her liquor license or not, you know. Because if she's with me, then, you know, if there's something that happens inside of our relationship, then it's something we communicate about if she needs to use her liquor license.
So so say for instance, you guys are married, she has her liquor license, y'all have a relationship where you communicate with each other when she's able to use that license. But say for instance, one night she goes out with her friends, she uses her license, comes home and tells you, it was an accident, I was tipsy, sorry, it just happened.
We've all done something we didn't plan on doing when we on that liquor. You know what I mean? So
say for instance, there wasn't any liquor involved.
I mean, for me, as long as she came home and told me about it, I'm different, man. Like in my household, even with, you know, any of my relationships with my kids, if you tell me about something, 9 times out of 10, I'm not really going to care that much. It's the lie that we wrap around whatever the initial thing is that then creates a dysfunction in the relationship, because now I can't trust you. You know, we've all done something, you know, probably everybody on this call has woken up in their driveway or in their bed like, ooh, thank you, God, I made it last night, because I sure shouldn't have had them last 2 drinks or whatever the case is. I'm going to do something that we don't necessarily need to do, but can you be honest about it and communicate about it? And if it's inside the confines of my marriage, then that's for me and my wife to deal with. And at the end of the day, I don't think it would be that big of an issue. I would probably be more disappointed that she didn't ask me for adult supervision, because that way I can make sure everybody. That would be the main conversation. So you're just not gonna call me, y'all? Like for real, you just play it.
I mean, I feel like this here. At the end of the day, people are going to cheat. Cheaters are going to cheat. So even if she likes women, she likes men, it doesn't matter. If you have it in your heart to go out the door, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So would the same rules apply and that happened, and if it was a man that she stepped out with, would it still be where the conversation would be not as like?
Well, I think though.
I mean,
thank you, Sabrina.
So there's
just asking a question.
But you have to understand too. There's a macho side to this, right? So men and their egos get taken down if there's another man involved, and so we don't hold women to the same standard as a man, right? Because like I can't stand beside you and be like, what is it about her that I ain't got? You know what I'm saying? But as a man, if that happens, you're looking and you're wondering where you went wrong at. What did he bring to the table that you didn't? How was he able to sway your woman and all this other stuff? So you have those feelings and emotions to contend with. Whereas in a woman's space, it's like, I mean, obviously I know what she got that I don't got. Okay. So there's that.
I think for me, it's more about like what I'm understanding from that question or even that idea is that we are human. We all have sexual desire or experiences that we all want to expand. Us as men, when we are getting married, we don't necessarily want to be with the same woman for the rest of our life, but we understood that was the best beneficial thing to do the marriage the best way for some of us. And some of us that didn't want to do it that way, then they went the poly route. So for me, it's like when we already talking about the fact that we are together, we are married, and you still need to like fulfill that one sexual desire that you have with a woman. What about if I also want to do that with another woman? Are you going to let me do it? Then it's an open marriage at this point, right?
Yeah.
So
and what if I desire another man and I desire you? Not me, but I'm just saying.
Right. No, because it's like, and someone said it's so many layers to it, because it's like, if you allow this, why won't you allow that? If it's this, then why not that? You know what I mean? Right. And like, I get it. And I know for me, because of those layers and because I've been in relationships where those layers and those doors were open and the communication was there and we were on the same page, and it still caused a lot of controversy. It still caused a lot of issues within the relationship. And that's why now I'm just at a place in my life where I don't desire to, be out there. So, and everybody knows, I talk about it all the time. Like if I'm with somebody, I just want to be with that person because I feel like I'm freaky enough, I'm nasty enough, I'm, spontaneous, I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm all of the above. And and I think it just has a lot to do with my past too, and what I've experienced. And I'm just now ready to give that one man like all of it. Like I got some toys, I want to show you some things, you know what I mean? And and for me to have him and then someone else, that I just feel like it's just I got to go back and forth, and it would just be a lot for me. So I'm good with just one person. But it's good to hear like y'all's sides about it.
So a challenge question that I have for anybody who wants to pick this up. Okay, you have couples that have been married for 50 and 60 years. Do you think either one of them has ever stepped out in that 50 or 60 years?
Oh, I'm
sure. In other words, you said what? I'm sorry.
Are you asking me that question?
I mean, you started to respond, so I'm just going to listen to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying everybody in those type of relationships, but I'm sure it's a good number of relationships out there. If I've been married or they've been married for 50 or 60 years, yeah, because marriage ain't no marriage out here that I know is perfect. You know what I mean? Like you're going to argue about something. Things are going to happen. Life be life, and opportunities will arise. Like it's just going to happen. But it doesn't mean that when situations like that happen, you know, it should end. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation within itself. I mean, like now that I'm talking about it.
So is that one of the things that makes marriages bond stronger?
In some marriages, maybe, but in a marriage with me, no, it wouldn't.
So do you think that saves marriages at all?
I'm sure some marriages it does. You said saves
But
marriage?
you wouldn't need to have it be saved, you know, if you had open communication about all of that at the beginning.
Well, maybe that's what was missing in the relationship, the marriage, was that part of the communication. And once they started communicating and it happened, it saved their marriage. So I think that part.
So I can tell you this, and this is not by way of my experience, but vicarious experience. I'll say this: I've known on both sides women who cheat, right? And they cheat because they want to be able to go home and still be with their man. They don't want to leave their man, but they're not getting, and their man maybe is not capable of providing what they need. And so they stitch this relationship on the side together, and it makes the house run, you know, like a well-oiled machine. Same thing with guys. You know, there's several guys that, you know, I've known through the years that has had these sort of, you know, these sort of shallow relationships, which makes everything easier when she's doing this, talking at you, you know what I mean? And then they leave out and we out drinking brews and everybody part ways and they handle their biz and they go back home happy. How was last night? Oh, it was great. It was with the fellas. But, you know, I feel like in some cases, even though there's a communication breakdown, ultimately, like some people just need to cheat to stay in the game. And I'm not condoning that. I'm not saying that that's what I believe you should do. But there are some people that need that lifestyle to stay in the game, to stay happy. If they ain't cheating, they miserable.
But, you know, like I've never been one to conform to like traditional values, and I respect everyone's values, you know, when it comes to marriage, but I feel like you need to be open and honest about how you feel about all of those situations. And it doesn't have to be cheating, right? If that's something that you all are open to and have an agreement on. And I just feel like, you know, when you're in a relationship and you have to lie about things and you have to be sneaky, it's because you weren't open and honest about something at the beginning. And what that takes is oftentimes it takes, you know, for you to be in a position to where you really had to assess how you would feel about certain situations in order to be open and honest about it. Because I don't feel like you can be honest if you have never been in that situation, you know, where you actually had to think about your lady being with another man or your lady being with another woman. You know, like you can go off of your initial desire or go off of traditional values and then automatically say that that's a no, where if you were to think about it, you know, maybe something that may not, it may be something that you are at least open to having a conversation about. And for me, that's primarily my first desire. Like, at least be able to have this conversation. Like, don't tell me this is a definitive no, and I won't tell you this is a definitive no. No questions asked. I don't ever want to talk about it again. You know, like that's how you get into trouble with things. No, let's have that conversation, no matter how hard, you know, we both think it may be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Ultimately, I feel like people do that because they're afraid to hurt somebody else.
But for,
you know,
people do what?
So cheat and, you know, be misleading and stuff because they don't want to hurt the other person. So they sleep and they do it in the background.
Well, like I said, you wouldn't have to hurt them if you were willing to have that combo.
Exactly.
I have to agree. The conversation makes a big difference. I had a therapist tell me one time he married really young, fresh out of college, and for years, he had conversations with his wife, and finally he told her he was unhappy about it, and she actually gave him a pass. You know, she gave him a pass for just having that conversation because their marriage is gonna go to whatever it's going to. Don't get me wrong, I don't know if that's for everybody, but she said, hey, you feeling this way, before you act on it and go and do something outside, maybe bring another child, another woman into our pyramid, here are the boundaries, and I'm going to give you a pass. So she gave him a pass, and that worked for them, you know, it worked for their marriage. So I guess it's just all the conversation.
And I think going back to the word cheating, I think cheating is always doing something you're not supposed to do, right? So if you are in a relationship with someone and you both agree on a specific lifestyle, a pass, a liquor license, like you guys said, you know, as long as you guys have an agreement, it's not cheating because you guys agreed upon that, right? But if now you guys are together and you want to do it traditionally, like Tyrone said, and you go around and you have a girlfriend that you call your girlfriend, but who's actually your lover, right, Sabrina? That's cheating, all right? Now, but if I know that, you know, when you're getting together with your friend Angie, you guys get busy, it's not cheating to me. I just tolerate that, and it's okay. So I think for me, it's more like whatever works for you. And I just know that, you know, having a third person involved in a level of intimacy within my relationship has never been a good thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So April Gaines said, if you guys were married and at some point you developed erectile dysfunction,
Nope.
When the blue pill doesn't work, would you give your wife permission to have a boyfriend? Please be honest.
Man, look, my honest answer is I'm gonna jump on this one real quick because I just had my male checkup and my doctor was asking me how's this and how's that, and he was like, man, you're doing great, but I'm in the gym, I eat a clean diet, all that stuff, and I think that attributes to it. And I thought about that though, but he was like, man, there's so many options. Like if you ever have a problem, there's this pill, there's that pill, there's a shot that you can get, there's a peptide that you can get. They can put a shot directly into your joint. There's a vacuum pump or something that they can do. I'm gonna explore all them options before I look at this option. You know what I mean? Like, because if somebody else piping you down, then they pay me bills too.
That part.
Right. You gotta ask.
If you're getting the cookie, then why am I in here baking?
They need to pay for the jar.
Right. I mean, you gotta have that conversation. Like, is it the person that you desire, or is it the physical act of penetration that's missing? Because those are two different things, you know. If it's the physical act, then go ahead, Jay.
I'm sorry, bro. Some ED isn't. You said physical. I'm like, some ED isn't. It's not just physical, it's emotional.
Yeah.
You might be with the wrong woman who's riding you every time you get home, you know, and in your ear, and then all of a sudden you got ED. But it's not your man's down there, it's who you married to.
Facts.
Yeah. And there's also on the extreme side, like you ever see that one TikTok where that one lady's like, when he go to the gym, he getting a nut. When he go to the bathroom, he getting a nut. If you go to Starbucks, he getting a nut. And I'm like,
she was also a porn star, though. I looked her up. I was like, who is this woman?
I'm like,
you know what I'm saying?
That's too much. I don't need that.
Go ahead.
You're going to mess around and get wiped up today by one of these brothers, man. You're about to say, because I know what you're about to say. You're like, and she's right?
I mean, but some people are like that. Like
Sabrina done had a couple stalkers before. I can tell right now by these hands. She had a couple stalkers.
No, because because if I'm with you, I decided to be with you. It's because you fit everything that I'm thinking at this moment that you fit. And if you fit, then that means with that part of it, you fit. And if you fit, it's gonna fit, and we gonna make, and it's gonna happen every every chance we get. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it should be. That's just the type of person that I am. I'm a very sexual creature. And if I'm with you and I'm like attracted to you like that, it's going to happen all the time. And I'm huge on initiation. Like, I'm not going to wait. I want you to initiate too, but I'm going to put it out there. Like, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want it all the time. Period.
Well,
drops Mike.
Anthony said, drops Mike.
I feel like Anthony is like, dang, I was on the wrong season.
Yo, hey, I live in the wrong city, bro. I live in the wrong city.
Y'all,
Hey.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm checking these flights to DC. I'm gonna be right back.
Hey,
whatever. Y'all are nuts.
Hey, you said ginger and what else? I'm trying to get loaded up before I go.
Hey, you know what I mean? And it's women out here that are really like that. And I talk to a lot of men and they're like, yeah, she just ain't really putting it down. She don't like initiate. She don't do. Let me tell you something. Just like y'all said, like, it's probably not the right wife. It's probably not the right husband. It's probably not the right man. But once you get the right man, like, it's done and over. We are complete freaks. Like, every chance we get, trust me, we will think outside the box. We will go and cook that ginger drink for you. We will get up at 5 a.m. in the morning and cook you breakfast. You want a massage, boo? Let me pull the table out. Like, we're going to take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get it all. But I think that's a whole nother topic and a whole nother situation. But when you come to me and you are the best version of yourself, I'm going to give you the best version of me, that healed Sabrina that I've been working on these last 4 years. You're going to get the best version of me and you're going to get it even better. You see what I'm saying? So we just want you guys to come to us in that version. So we're able to be in our femininity. We're able to be in like a place where like there is trust and we don't feel insecure and have to wonder if you're doing this and doing that. Like, we want to be there so we can do those things. We can give you the things that you guys want. That's a whole nother topic. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. But go ahead,
Jay, go ahead. I want to go next.
Been that long, huh, Sabrina? We'll check on you again next quarter.
You know, Tyrone, I call Tyrone the logo man because he's gonna shoot the shot. You know what I mean? This man right here.
No, I didn't mean it that way.
Shot his shot at the host. Did y'all saw his reunion? He shot his shot at the host.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
If he got the address, look.
I didn't mean it that way.
Look, all I see is Tyrone seeing opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, legit.
I seen all that passion come out of Sabrina. I was like, it's been a while.
It's not think about me. Y'all
Just
don't
as
let
a
them
friend.
think. Y'all know. Y'all don't let them fool y'all.
Look. Just as a friend, you just want to make sure she's okay. So let's go ahead and, like top off the spigot. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Tyrone has had me drunk, passed out on his couch before, and we just not like that.
That was not before he heard this.
You like me before the panel.
Conversations like this change relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that conversation about the kimchi, I don't know if you were on, Jay.
I missed it.
Man, they had that connection about Korean food and everything else.
Look,
I was just sitting there trying to do my research on Korean food.
Right. Look. You go over to Tyrone's house next time to get a ride. He gonna answer, "Oh yeah, I just got out the shower." So you gonna have a towel on. Give me just a second. Leave the door right over. You like, why is he playing Jonesy? You know what I'm saying? Hurry up!
Let's get you out that dress. Throw on one of these shirts.
Right. That is. First, Ready to Love union up in this bug be the first marriage, boy. We go back to the night. We was there the night that it happened. Boy. And she looked like that without makeup, boy. Anyway, man. But yeah, so my question was basically, what if the situations are reversed? Well, no, my question was, since you said that, was based on you know, a lot of women in my experience aren't big on initiation. Okay. And everything you said sounds amazing, and I believe you. But I think every man on this panel has experienced a girl that talks like that, but don't show up like that.
Really? Guess what? It's somebody in the chat right now that knows exactly I show up like that. Go ahead and let them know, boo.
funny. I was saying the same.
I'm not saying that you. I know you. You the homie. I know you gonna. If it ain't that, you gonna say what it is. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, because I'm gonna keep it. Which is sad. But did you have a question behind that? I'm sorry, Jay.
That was my question. Is for the ladies in the chat. Like, put a 1 up if that's you and you just said it, or number 2 if you didn't said it and then that ain't you. Like, if I don't think that I've had it happen. You know, I've had it happen too many times, and then at a certain point as a man, like, initiation is cool and fun, but hey, can we want to feel worth being initiated over too.
So
and this may just be me. So fellas, if I'm speaking ill of y'all and this don't show up for you, then please don't. But I'm just keeping it 100.
So I know for me, when I first meet a guy, like, we'll joke and we'll have conversations and I'll be like, oh yeah, I do all that. You know what I'm saying? But then it'd be the end of it. Like, I'm one of those women, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to be about it. I'm going to show you. So women, I feel like that are like me, like, you're going to sit down and you're going to come. I'm going to be like, hey, boo, you want to come over? When you come over, I'm going to have dinner ready. I'm going to be like, you want a plate? Like, I cooked. Or, like, I will have the table out, for the massage. Like, you'll come, like, those are the things that I do. Like, you had a long day. I've listened to the conversation. When you come, I know, boiled bay is your favorite food. I'm going to have boiled bay waiting for you when you get. So I just feel like with women that are like me, we just not, and as men, you tell me, as the man that you are, it's a lot of things that I'm sure, like, y'all, like, I'm not going to sit and talk about it. Like, I'm going to be about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got to tell everybody I'm fire. I'm this, I'm the bomb. I'm a real one. I'm just not one of those type of people. Like, if you put me in that position and I'm like, yeah, I need to let you know, because you obviously don't know. But if I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to show you, and the real ones will show you. So if she start talking, that's what it is. That means that she done threw the bait, shoo, and she trying to reel you in, and ain't nothing on the hook but some fake ass shrimp. It ain't even real. It's the rubber kind out Walmart.
Thank you. 100%. Now, I have, in my experience, and the fellas may have a different opinion, but I've always been attracted to older women, because I feel like with older women, my experiences, you're older now, right? You're not old, but you're older than you were before. And so the stuff you say now, you're not just sitting here talking about it. You know exactly where you are in life. And so rather than, my experience has been, rather than lead you on with something just to get you, you know what it takes to keep a brother. Exactly. So you're going to lead with that. Here's what I can do and here's what I can't do. The older I've gotten, I'm going to let you know straight up, hey, I'm about this, but I ain't about that, right? Exactly. And you get your choice. I'm going to tell you right now, everything, you know me, I'm A100. So you can know right now, you ain't got to wait 6 months to a year to figure out how I'm going to show up in this relationship. Let me tell you, right after our Starbucks date.
Exactly. And that's how it should be. And I think a lot more relationships would last if we don't show up with our representatives. Like, show up the good, the bad, and the ugly. Show me exactly who you are. I'm going to show you exactly who I am, so you can decide for yourself if this is what you want to deal with, and if this is what I'm going to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real with each other. Let's not waste each other's time. I don't want you to waste mine, and I'm not going to waste yours. Either way, we both old as shit, because I'm sure we about the same age, and I just don't have time to waste. That's 6 months that you waste. I wasted with you. I could have been with, like, my husband over here, like this. She over here with this dude. Like, when's she gonna leave him alone? You know what I mean? No, I don't want that. So that's exactly why I will continue to be exactly where I am. And if I see yellow flags, pink flags, whatever, I'm out. I don't have time. Like you said, I've been around enough. I've been in enough relationships. I've dealt with enough men to know exactly what I want, what I need, what I'm looking for, what I'm going to put up with, what I'm not going to put up with, than to sit and say, well, he got potential. No, we just not about that life anymore.
Sabrina, there's this comedian. His name is Dion Cole. He recently said, Jay, you got it. He said, I love a woman that has more yesterday than tomorrows.
She only got 20 summers left.
He said like 16 summers.
More yesterday than tomorrow's, because she's living her life differently now, because time is so important to her that being honest saves time for her. So being dishonest is delaying all the things that she's wanting to do. So, like, I saw another post on Instagram talking about most men now are dating older women. And that's probably why, because now we find older women that know what they want. What we always wanted where to find women that know exactly what they want. And I think that
with no games.
Exactly. And I speak for all the men tonight when you were talking about the things that you do, who you are, even Tyrone and, Jade, I know you very well. They were still, happy to know that about you. If not, I would say impressed, right? Me too, right? So women that move essentially in the way that they're very open and honest, it saves us time too.
Here, to get on the Dion Cole page, I got about maybe 40 summers left, man. 10 of them, I'm gonna still be in really good shape for. So, you know what I mean? After that, gravity gonna hit. I'm fighting it right now. I know I'm fighting it. My hair already gone. I already know. So I don't want to waste my 10 summers with somebody that's gonna tell me one thing and then I'm getting something else. You know what I mean? Like everything is always good in the first 3 to 6 months. Yeah. But where are you after that? Tell me now so that I can invest accordingly, right? And if we just gonna hang out and have fun, cool. But but don't give me, and Sabrina knows a relationship I was just in last year. I was in a serious relationship last year. And that was one of her concerns. She was like, yo, I don't know if Shorty gonna be able to, to go the distance. You know what I mean? And I feel like at the end of the day, she was right? Because I was hearing, but then I didn't see the proof in the pudding. And one of the reasons why I stopped the relationship was because I was like, I don't want to end up being that guy. I don't want to end up being that guy, not excited to go home to my wife. I don't want to end up being that guy that's like, man, my homeboys telling me about their escapades with their wife. And I'm like, yeah, my baby pretty. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm showing pictures of what she used to look like back when I met her. You know what I mean? You want to have somebody, man, you can have fun with. You got 20 more summers left of fun. Let's do it somewhere, having a good goddamn time.
Yeah, so I'll be honest about something. Not to cut you off, Sabrina, but
I want you.
I've been in situations where, the women have gone all out. One of the things that I realized, and it kind of brings a tear to my eye right now, is that, I wasn't ready to receive all of that. You talk about some of the things that you want to do. You talk about how you want to be woken up every morning, how you want to go to bed every night. But on the third, fourth morning in a row, you like, damn, like, again, so you have to be ready to receive all that.
Yes.
Another thing is, I feel like I've been fortunate enough to be in situations where I didn't have to hold back, my wants and my desires and not feel like I'm going to hurt someone's feelings when I'm expressing some of the things that, I have a desire for. And for the women that are listening, I feel like that's really, really important to at least allow a guy to be in that vulnerable space, because it's not normal to have to tell a woman that you have these desires that aren't traditional, so so that's
me. I want to know stuff.
It's important, and I think it also works both ways. You have to be willing to have that conversation, be able to listen to her, and not use those vulnerabilities as weapons, later on. And, like I said, shedding a tear, like those were some amazing situations now that I look back on it. So when it comes to some of the things that I have talked about earlier about what I want, what I'm willing to experience, I feel like it's just so much easier now to be open and honest up front and have all of those conversations that you don't think that you're supposed to have. Ask all of those questions that you've always been afraid to ask, in high school, as a young man growing up. Ask those questions, because you may be surprised by some of the answers. You may be able to have, that perfect life that you wanted.
And all you have to do is just be honest and communicate. That's it. It's not hard. Like, honestly, I tell men all the time, y'all would get so much further with women if you just told the truth and if you were just honest with them. because a lot of us will stick around, especially if we really like you. Like, we'll stick around and we'll hear you out. And one thing about me is, if I'm really in it, because I don't just be dealing with just anybody. And if I'm in a relationship with you, it's because I'm like, I chose you. And if I chose you, it just means that I'm not trying to choose anybody else after you. I want you for the duration, for the long haul. It's unfortunate that it didn't work out. Now I got to find somebody else to, you know what I'm saying? Not fine, but, you know, now it's someone else that, you know, possibly could have that position because you screwed it up. Like, I don't just be dating just to be dating. You know, like, I'm dating for longevity. I'm dating for my future. I'm dating like you're the last one I'm trying to be with. I'm not trying to add no more body counts to my, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm done. Like, I'm good. But you're also right, Tyrone. Absolutely. And I think that's the issue that a lot of women like me have dealt with, is being that way to men that were not ready to receive a woman like me. And that's something that I had to learn, because for a long time, like, I was like, well, what's wrong with me? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what did I do? Like, what do I need to do? Like, I was questioning myself, and it wasn't me, it was them. And I said on the women's panel, I think it was last night, I was like, if you are at war with yourself, don't disturb my peace. And it's a lot of people out there that really, men out there that really don't know what they want. Because I know if y'all, and tell me if I'm wrong, if a man finds a woman and you like, that's a whole wife right there, you're not going to screw it up.
Nope.
You're not. And if
Sabrina, you know, last men panel I was on here with Ty, he said something that was really cool. He said men cheat because the risk of losing you is less than, you know, the pursuit, right? Mm-hmm. In telling the truth to certain women, we know some women that would be able to easily handle the truth about, like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do. We also know there are some women where we want to hold on to her so much that we rather deal with the risk of lying to you and keeping you than losing you. And that's generally a decision that, man, we do when it comes down to making decision out of lust, out of selfish desire, or maybe pursuing the woman just because of her looks or anything like that. You know, because we men, we know how to tell the truth. We just don't like telling the truth because we know half the time the consequences of telling the truth may not necessarily be the one that we want. So we end up lying to you. But the one that we know that are essentially able to handle the truth, we're going to tell the truth to. Like someone like you, the way that you talk, the way that you carry yourself, I will tell you the truth because you've been very transparent and honest about who you are. And I can get the confidence from you to know that, okay, if I tell her the truth, she's going to see the good in me and she's going to see the bad in me. But with some woman in her early 20s who doesn't know much about life, you know, the first thing I'm going to tell her the truth, she's going to run away. And I'm just talking about a version of me I was probably 10 years ago. So, yeah.
But my truth is if you really, really loved me and wanted me the way that you say you did, you would have never put our relationship in jeopardy of not happening because you decided you wanted to go bust a nut. So if you feel like that was more important and you just had to get it, then you just don't need and want a woman like me. You're not ready for me. So no hard feelings. I'm going to give you a hug and I'm going to say good luck with everything. I hope you find what you need and all the nuts you want. I hope you get all of them. Good luck to you. No hard feelings. I'm not even mad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to send you
and I can read the comments right now. People are saying, why lie? Because she's going to run away. Y'all got to understand, men, we like to win. We're competitors. So for us, keeping the woman, that's a way of us winning.
Yeah. Well,
so
just like
if it's at that cost, lying to you, if it costs me to lie to you to keep you, then I'm going to do that. But unfortunately, I'm sorry I step out on you. And I know I'm going to miss you.
But you keeping me on a lie?
I'm sorry. I just didn't want to tell you the truth because I know you would leave.
So but what I really don't have me then.
No, I was going to say what I've learned is like when you're stepping out, it's because there's a thing that you would like to experience, right? What I found out is that you can find something very, very, very close to that experience with your lady if you are willing to just be honest and
From
tell
the
her
beginning,
that.
right?
And
That's what
she cares about you. She loves you. She will be willing to have that conversation, and she'll be like, you know what? Yeah, it'll be a little messy, but I'm good. I'll do that for you.
Right, because the communication was there from the beginning, and that's what you said earlier, and I completely agree. But like Tyrone just said, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Tyrone, earlier, but that's exactly what you said about how, at the end of the day, like, you look back on it and you like, dang, I had that like every morning, like, dang, you know what I mean? So my thing is you find a girl, so you experienced it, it was good, and guess what? You lost it. So my thinking is, if Ty ever gets that again, is he really gonna screw that up?
I learned to be honest at the beginning. Like, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. This is what I'm trying to achieve. How do you feel about that? Because my feelings for that is most likely not going to change. And if that is not for you, I need you to be open and honest and tell me that that is not for you.
Mm-hmm.
I was just telling a friend of mine right before we got on this chat. I was telling her that I have never told the truth so much like I have in this big ass age that I'm in right now. Like, you can't pay me to lie to you right now, because I understand the importance of it in giving people the option and the choice to make a valid decision on which way they're going to move, and how much more they respect that than they respect you lying to them. It just takes you so much further. And I think I've actually witnessed a lot of women these days. Um, it's switch roles. A lot of women these days are not telling the truth and are not coming as their full selves, and they've taken the place of men. I actually told a young lady last night, I was like, wow, you sound like a man. You really move like a man. And I'm seeing that a lot more these days. A lot of women don't think like you, Sabrina, and I feel like it just comes from your experience and where you are right now in your life and everything that you've been through and how you've worked on yourself. You know what I mean? I can't speak for all men. I'm definitely not going to speak for all men. I just know where I am right now in this place where I am in my life and how I want to move and how I need energy and things to come back towards me. I understand the importance of just telling people the truth and allowing them to make the decision. Whether they don't like it or not, they're going to move forward. Cool. I've never lost my breath from somebody I've lost in life. So I'm good with that. So I just always move with the best intention. Just be honest about everything. You like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah. This.
And just to, like, because I know the chat is going crazy right now. That's not the way that I think. I was just sharing again the mindset of a man between, who's have a man that never dealt with a young boy inside of him is always gonna see women as a game, as something to gain, and everything else. Men like Tyrone, Anthony, Paul, and Jay, they've already gone through that at some point in their life. They already understand that, okay, telling the truth is going to provide me with more peace. But the guy who's just trying to win, and the guy who's just trying to get his whatever he was after, he's not going to tell you the truth, because at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about his own selfish desire.
This conversation.
Yeah, it's crazy how you put that. That's 100% spot on.
Yeah.
Well, what was 100% spot on?
What you just said.
Oh, okay.
As far as a man's selfish desires, that is 100% on. A man that's
I think
he's selfish, definitely.
I think men cheat for different reasons, though. And it just depends on each individual man. It depends on his experiences. It depends on the things that he saw growing up. It depends on, what he idolized growing up, whether it was, if his father was present and his father was faithful to his mother, or if his father was present and he was unfaithful to his mother, right? It's like when you have two twins that grew up in the same household with the same alcoholic father. One of them will go to the ways of never drinking in life ever because of what they saw, and one will be an alcoholic. And people, their internal things are how they react to the world. And so I've had, somebody that was close to me at one point, his wife would chase him around the house trying to get it. But dude could not stay out of these streets for nothing. And I was like, bro, why? It's like, your wife is at the house, bro. I saw her trying to get you to come in the bedroom before you bounced. And he's just like, he was just one of the dudes, but he also had an influence in his life that was out of he's stupid, bro. That always chased tail. And so that's what he thought a man is. And so I think, one of the biggest things that you can ask a man is, what is a man? And whatever the traits that he kind of tells you, a lot of times will be the things that he respects and holds and has a certain amount of ideation to where how he's going to show up in a relationship. So for me, I saw certain things growing up. My dad was faithful to my mother. I saw him come home every night. And I thought that's what a real man is. I saw him go to work every day. I saw him go to, serve at the church. I saw him serve in the community. And so when I look at my life and where I've ended up at this point, it's all those things that I feel like I'm checking the box of what a man is. And so going back to that, I feel like every guy has different things. I've cheated before. I was in a relationship. I've been cheated on. Sabrina knows this, and I haven't told anybody publicly, but the relationship I was in last year, I was absolutely abstinent and stayed abstinent for the entire relationship. We never touched each other. But my idea at that point was to get married, and I got 2 kids, so obviously I didn't put some work in. You know what I mean? But at this point in my life, I wanted something different, and I wanted to try something different, and I wanted to have control of my sexual desires. And my idea was that if I get to marriage, and that was our goal, is that what I'm going to get after that was going to be so much more powerful than anything that I'd ever had, because I'd given my desire and done something different and waited for once and not fall into my fleshly wants. And in the beginning, it was difficult, but then it became such a powerful thing that me and her shared, to the point that it got me to a different point as a man, to where I still, of course, still like to do what I do, but it's not I can fast from it. And so I think, and not to go too long into it, man, but I just think that we all have different parts of our journey and are different men at different times in our journey. And it's not that he's an ain't crap dude. He just hasn't gotten to that point in his journey to where he realizes the things that are important, like the men were just saying. You're more honest now at this point in your life than you ever have been in your life. But you also went through this stuff at different points in your life to understand that, man, let me just be honest. Because all this lying, gonna get her more mad at me, get the car keyed, tires flat, you know what I'm saying? She gonna be talking on like cussing my mom out when she see at the grocery store, your son ain't ish, you know what I'm saying? Like, why go through all that? Let me just be honest, because 9 times out of 10, a woman nowadays will respect, because she's had so many people out to her, she will respect you for the honesty.
Those are really great points, Jay. I learned early in my 20s that, and it wasn't by choice, but I learned that sex doesn't define me. And it was because I was actually deployed twice. So I had no choice but to go with that. Well,
you had choices. I appreciate you not going with the choices that were available.
And I want to say, I got you. It's a powerful thing when you can learn to control that, and you don't have to be weak to lust, and it's, you tend to feel a lot more powerful in the conversations that you're having with the woman, especially at the beginning, because she would try to flirt, she would try to kind of manipulate you, physically, emotionally, and through lust. And when all that doesn't matter, like it just opens up a whole new light for you.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And I would also add to that, to the ladies in the chat that were wondering, like, how do you become this man, essentially, or how do you meet that honest man? Just look how he's living his life, the people he's hanging around with. Did he have like very good father figures, healthy father figures in his life growing up? What is he doing today? How long has he held his job? If he changed his job, why? Because generally men are not necessarily honest with themselves, are not honest with the way they're living their life. And you can see instability with how they're doing things all the time. So that's already a sign that if he's unstable with his own life, he's going to be unstable with handling your heart. So that's always another indicator. For example, a woman looking for somebody honest. Jay's been in real estate for however long. He loves what he does. So you already know that when he's passionate about something, he's putting everything that he has into it. So if he's passionate about you, girl, you're about to have some great time, right? So those are all the things that essentially when women are going outside, they're just looking at, 6'8" PO, and they don't really like ask him the right questions, and then they end up with a man who's not honest, who's 6'8", instead of going with a man who's 6'8" and honest like PO. So just throwing it out there.
Shout out to Congo English for the super chat. Thank you so much.
I'm going to the house tonight.
Yeah.
And to piggyback off of what he just said, even if a man didn't grow up with certain things in his household, it's not like he can't seek them as an adult. So like you said, he might not have had his father in his life. He didn't have a choice about that. But do you have spiritual mentors, pastors or friends or what? If all your boys is going to, nothing wrong with going to, Brazil and Colombia, but if all of them doing boys trips every month and all of his boys are doing that, he probably, birds of a feather flock together, right? I plan on going to Brazil later this year. But I'm just as an example, just because I heard the topography is amazing. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you really want to find, who his sources are. I feel like every woman needs an older married woman that's going to give her some game when she gets in a relationship and she's got, oh, my man ain't, he coming in at 8 o'clock last night. Okay, well, what was he doing? He was at work. He always at work. Okay, well, what's he doing? Is he paying all the bills? Yeah, but he always at work. Well, he got to pay the bills, so he's always at work. Like an older woman would tell you that. Same thing with a young man. Like all of us brothers need another brother because Proverbs 27:17 says iron sharpens iron, right? And so if we have other brothers that'll keep us accountable, if I'm with my girl and I go out and one of my boys is like, man, what you doing talking to Shorty, bro? Oh, well, I was just, so what you doing? You being faithful or not? Like I have men that'll check me like that. Now, at certain points in my life when I was 27, I ain't had them type of brothers around. All I keep is those type of brothers around now. It's just a different lifestyle. So it's the choices that it's not necessarily what you grow up with, but it's the choices you make as a man once you get to the point where it's like, okay, what do I choose for myself now? Am I going to be the same dude I was in my 20s, or am I a different cat in my 40s?
I feel you, Jay. I've been there. You'd be like, he is not getting the invite.
Right.
No, Jay is absolutely right. I didn't grow up with a father in my life. I had to learn what it took to be a man from the men I surrounded myself around at a young age. You know what I mean? So he is absolutely correct with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say shout out to Miss Pretty Amazing. She actually put this and did the super chat a while ago. She says, Ty, you were supposed to be Sabrina's man. It's not too late. And shout out to Congo English. Sorry. He says that Sabrina, you are onto something with the men. Very sincere, no persona. And one more thing before I forget, Harlem, New York, shout out to you. He is now an official member of my Soul Mate YouTube channel. Shout out to you. If you are interested, definitely go to the front screen and go to membership, click, and 4 tiers. All right.
Hold on.
Harlem, New York is officially a Soul Mate.
How you know it's a he?
Oh, I guess you're right. No, I think I know. Oh, no. Wait. No, you're absolutely right. I don't know.
You're the gender police.
You just got a they. Thank they for joining.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And I want to say, I think Harlem, New York, I think that is a female. I can't remember because they've been in the chat before. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Shout out to you, Harlem.
Thank you, Harlem.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Harlem, I got your back. Harlem. You good.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Wow, this conversation was amazing. Like y'all even got me, most of the time in the men's panel, like I normally don't, but tonight was really good. Y'all have kind of come out of my shell and joined the conversation tonight, and I appreciate that. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I love y'all so much. Like, and Ty and Jay, I talk to y'all all the time, and especially Jay. Like, me and Jay, we talk all the time. Like, we're really, really close. And I can honestly say that Jay is someone that I know if I called tomorrow, like I need some advice, or if I need advice, Jay would be one of the people that I would call, would probably be the first one that I would call for that advice. So I appreciate you joining the panel tonight too, and giving your insight, all of you. Like, y'all are so amazing. Like, with the panels, I was very selective with who I wanted to ask to be on them. So I think the women love the fact that I asked y'all. They talk about how like y'all are so amazing. If you go back in the comment sections, if you guys don't, definitely go back in the comment sections after the live is done and just check out some of the comments. They say some really amazing things about you guys, but I don't know if you read them or not, but I definitely wanted to let you know, and I wanted to let you know in front of them. So anyway, any last words?
Thank you. Like, legit, these kind of platforms, you know, I know we're doing a YouTube live and the audience gets a chance, but really having these conversations with brothers that are quality men that have a certain amount of emotional intelligence is huge. And it's kind of like when you go mentor, you end up, you know, with the gift, you know, that you leave with. And I definitely, you know, all these men. So salute to all y'all, bro. Much love. I love these conversations. This is what pushes the culture forward, man. Y'all are dope. And thanks for Sabrina for putting brothers together.
I would say for anybody watching or in the chat, women especially, don't give up on love. Don't let 2023 dating, you know, change it. Relationship is a skill. You just got to work at it, and then, you know, make the best of whoever you meet out there. Thanks, Sabrina, for having me on. Like, it's always a pleasure. And then, you know, Ty and Anthony, Jay, Theo, always a pleasure, guys. Always learning a few things when I'm on here, and a lot of things actually. So always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And I'll go. So I just want to tell everybody, I know that I might say some stuff that's off the chain, but I do want to give everybody a lighthearted way to understand realistically how, you know, how the dating scene works from a man's perspective. You know, of course, I specialize in delivery, you know, but I mean, you know, aside from that, you know, I'm always going to give it to you a buck. You know, I'm always going to keep it 100 with you, and you know, it is what it is. I'm happy to just be able to be a part of the whole scenery. You know, these brothers, you know, out here, and we all just feeding and vibing off each other's energy. You know what I mean? It takes one to grow one, so you know, that's what we doing. Yeah.
Yes.
I will say I appreciate all you brothers in this panel. It's always good to have like-minded individuals to speak our truth and really give the message out. I will say this part. I'm in Connecticut right now, and it really bothered me the other day when I walked through the hospital and I saw all the women that were married were Hispanic and white women. I actually sent a couple messages out to a couple of my sisters, and I said it's really at a disadvantage that I'm walking around and I'm seeing this, that our sisters are not married to men, you know. And I got some good responses, but some of the responses just showed no accountability and just put all the blame on men. It's not just men, it's us as a people, it's us as a unit, and we all need to just do better. Black men and black women, is just try to bridge this gap of communication that we just don't have right now and get it together. So just thanks for doing panels like this, Sabrina, and I'm looking forward to more.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, I've gotten to the point where I realize that, you know, life can be really, really amazing. You know, if you're willing to have those conversations about communication and be open and honest. I also learned that, you know, life is a lot shorter than you may think. So there's no need to go through life, you know, the slightest bit unhappy, even if it's just to please someone else. No matter what you may think about the way that you should act, the way that you should be, do what makes you happy, as long as you're not hurting anyone. And if it means, addressing things that are affecting you mentally, childhood traumas, all that stuff, any way that you can walk through life a lot lighter and a lot happier, you should definitely focus on those things. So that's about all I got.
I swear before the panel start, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I just want to take a nap. Oh my God, I'm so exhausted because I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning working. Oh my God. And then when I get on the panels, I'll be like, oh my God, I don't never want it to end. So great. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for all the love, guys. I appreciate you so much. I love that Ready to Love has brought this together.
Right.
And it's so many things that has happened on all of our seasons. And it's like, sometimes I look back like, but then moments like these, it just makes me feel like, golly, like, the universe had a plan. And, even though like we have a small community here, this small community, I feel like at the end of the day, as long as we can reach one person to be better, to become better, to do better, to live better, to be more healthier, to be more positive, I feel like, it happened. We did it, So I applaud all of you. I applaud, my panelists. I applaud everyone that watched tonight. Everyone that was in the chat tonight. You guys know I say it all the time. Without all of you, there literally is no me. And I just want to say thank you all for the support. I love you so much. But anyway, y'all make sure you hit the like button. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. And other than that, I will see you tomorrow night with Alexis from Married at First Sight. All right, guys, talk to you later. Good night. Bye.